In November 2022, we took a repositioning cruise from Malaga to Barbados on board Marella Explorer 2, stopping off in the Canary Islands before doing a 6-day sea crossing, a perfect length of time to unwind. Eventually, we arrived at St. John's in Antigua. As you leave the port, you are accosted by taxi touts selling cramped seats on minibuses. However, if you walk 500 yards into the town, you can hire your own personal taxi for the same price. Our taxi driver took us to a private viewing point before taking us down to Dickinson Beach. This is the beach where the Sandals Hotel is situated. The beach bar near the pier at the end of the beach sells amazing food at a very reasonable price, and even in November, the sea here was so warm to swim in. Afterwards, our taxi driver met us and took us back to the ship. The next day, we arrived in Pointe Pitre in Guadaloupe. Here, we hired a car and drove to Lucia in the northwest corner of the island. Hiring the car was a masterstroke. It allowed us to get there before all the tour buses, and giving us the chance to look round all the filming locations for Death in Paradise at our own pace and in peace. The Detectives Beach is a true paradise, and due to the dangerous riptides, it is often very secluded. The latest filming had finished just before we arrived there, and they were in the process of dismantling the Detectives Beach hut. The car hire was a quarter of the cost of the excursion, and it gave us a much more enjoyable experience. Roche is a very picturesque little town and is the setting for an RA in the TV series. Because we arrived before the crowd, we were able to book a table at Catherine's Bar. The poor unfortunate people on the coach tour had to make do with just standing and having a drink at the bar. We had a nice meal here with beer and wine at a very reasonable cost, while looking across at views that seemed so familiar. In the town there are a few local shops and gift shops to have a look around, and at the back of the town you find the old vicarage which was used as Honore police station in the TV series. By this time all the tours had left, so I had the place to myself once again. This is definitely a place where you should do your own independent tour. The next morning we found ourselves in Castries, St. Lucia, where we took a ship's excursion to Marigot Bay, which was depicted in a pink sea snail scene in the 1967 version of Doctor Dolittle. To get over to the beach where the filming was done, we had to take a small ferry boat to an area that was set out with our own private sun lounges, where we were given fresh coconuts laced with rum. Views as we crossed the bay were just incredible, with natural beauty that left you speechless. There was a small reef at the end of our beach area, which was teeming with fish, perfect for a spot of snorkeling. The sands sloped gently down into the warm, sheltered sea. This is the spot where the pink sea snail was filmed. As we relaxed in this piece of heaven on earth, we could imagine ourselves climbing inside the snail's shell and gently floating off towards the horizon. We had an amazing day in Marigot Bay and left the beach totally relaxed. If only we could have spent a full week here, but all good things come to an end. We had to return to the ship and sail on to Bridgetown in Barbados. We disembarked in Bridgetown and spent the day lazing at the Boatyard Beach Bar, where we spent the rest of the day swimming, snorkeling and sunbathing before catching our flight back home. We think that repositioning cruises are great value for money, as the 6 days at sea gives you time to relax, unwind and get to know the ship. Thank you for watching. Safe travels.